Okay, today we're going to talk about intake manifolds and specifically this 3SGE non-beams intake manifold I've been building for my wife's MR2. Now, originally the 3SGE non-beams engine comes with a dual runner intake manifold, so it has an acoustic stack with a butterfly that opens at a certain RPM, which just allows the power band to be extended further in the rev range. The other statement I can say is the intake runners on the non-beams intake manifold are unequal length. So cylinder 4 is more straight, and then as you get to cylinder 1, it creates this little dog leg over to condense the runners. So that's why we have this, which is unequal length. So you can see this is a 2-inch primary, which then comes up and expands quite large. Personally, if I had a choice, I'd go back and make this a steeper taper, so that way it's not as gradual, just so that way we can get better termination frequency on the runners themselves. But that's why this is unequal length. So, one thing to consider is, while this should make it more equal length than it was for the intake runner length, it doesn't mean it will be equal length. So there will be some variances between just the manufacturing. This is a hand-built product, so it's not going to be 1000% equal, but it's going to be a lot closer than it was factory, which should give us a little bit of a tighter power band. The other thing is this is obviously a single runner, and the longest runner on their short runner system, the factory one, is similar to this height. So as it tapers down, they're all a little bit shorter, but in the whole intake runner track, as I was mentioning, they're about equal. So this should be really tailored for upper RPM. Not so much lower RPM, but it's an MR2, 3SGE. We want to hear a rev to 7,000 RPM if we can. 8,000 is better. So this is one piece of the puzzle. So this is how we've tuned the runner lengths actually to a specific frequency, which will match the valve speed in the cylinder head at a certain, basically, engine speed. So once the engine speed hits a certain RPM, the frequency of the valve opening will start to come into phase with the foundational frequency or sub-frequency of these runners. So exactly like putting two musical instruments together and just trying to have them play the same song. Now, we've identified two musical instruments in this sort of equation, the runners being one, the engine speed being the other. Can we add more? And really the answer is yes. So the plenum comes into a factor here as well. Now this is obviously just all a single plenum. I'm looking over because I have a whiteboard over here, which has a lot of it drawn out from 6, 7, 8 months ago when I originally did the math on this. So I'm a little rusty on it, but the plenum, when you pair it to an intake tube, also creates a frequency. Now it's only a static frequency because it is a Helmholtz. So Helmholtz is like blowing over a beer bottle. You get a static, like a fixed frequency over it. And the harder you blow, you get little changes, but not a whole lot. It's pretty much the same sound note. So what we're going to do on this one is we have a Bosch 74 mil throttle body. So it's pretty big for a 4-cylinder, but it'll be fine. When it opens up fully, the intake tube will be 3-inch for a desired period of length, and then there will be, like, basically similar to this, a little velocity stack, which it expands up to 3.5-inch, which will be the rest of the way to the filter. And that lets us actually run this at a specific frequency. So if I remember correctly, we did something like, I think it was 6,000 RPM for 3,000 RPM for the main Helmholtz frequency. So that way we can try and just fill in the torque gap in the lower end because the runners will be more tailored to the upper RPM. So just try to get more density into the plenum with that. And then the other aspect that we're trying to do is, because it's a musical instrument, there's what's called octaves. So if you have any music theory, you'll know that like A4 and A5 are the same note, just one is a higher pitch of that note. So we're doing the same thing with this. So at 6,000 RPM, it will come back into phase. So 3,000, we get a little bump. That's the main frequency. And that's basically the frequency you tune this to for 3,000 RPM is the collection of all the cylinders. So you're trying to match that. And then when this gets to 6,000 RPM, the same thing's going to happen. We're going to get that resonant frequency and we're going to get more density, hopefully. Obviously, we need real world testing to see how it tracks, but we should get more density into the plenum. So we now have 3 musical instruments all trying to cram air, most specifically into that one musical instrument, which is the cylinder, which we'll just call it an engine as a collective. I'll refer to it as valve speed. I'll refer to it as the cylinder, but just basically the air going into the cylinder. And so all that's really left on this now to do is kind of just have to put the pieces together.